Hello and welcome to another Reolink how-to video brought to you by Las Vegas Tech Pros. Today we're going to show you how to set up your brand new Reolink system. First, a couple of tips and tricks. One of them is if you are on an iDevice, you can pause your notifications for either an hour or for the day by sliding it over, hitting Options, and mute for 1 hour or mute for today. That can be very useful if you are outside for the day and you're going to be getting a bunch of alerts. You can stop that by pausing them or muting them for 1 hour or muting it for the day. This is also where you can go by tapping on the notification itself. You can go to that video. It will pull that up, and as you can see, it detected a vehicle, and it brings you right directly to that video. From this screen, you can also play back with your smart playback choices. So for example, first thing you do, go back to here. First thing you do is you choose your camera, click on the playback button right here. That's going to bring up the calendar so you can choose what day. And then after you've selected the day, come back down here, click on the folder, and you choose people, vehicles, or whatever you want to see. So I'm going to choose person, and we'll see that today there was a person detected. And there they are. You can see them right there. So that's how you go back and use your smart detection to only watch clips of people, vehicles, or you can get any motion if you're so inclined. All right, now when you get started with your Reolink system, they're all going to be called Camera 1. So the first thing you want to do is name your cameras. The way to do that is change the view to this little equal sign up here so that they're all big, and then you tap directly on the words, and that brings up the place where you can change the name of the camera. Now, if you miss, it's just going to bring the camera up. So make sure that you tap exactly on the word and then change that from Camera 1 to whatever you want to call it. Now, after you've named your cameras, let's go through all these settings on here. We'll start at the top here. You're going to have record. That is going to be set on. You're going to turn push notifications on. And then you're going to go into each of your cameras. And this is really important because if you don't take this step, you're going to get a ton of false alarms. So if you want to cut back on the false alarms, what you do is you go into the push notifications, go to your camera, click on schedule, click up here to detection type, turn off any motion, and only turn on people, vehicles, and or pets. Make sure that you've disabled any motion and only select people, vehicles, or pets. And then hit save. This is also where you can set a schedule. If there are certain times of the week that you do not want notifications for some reason, you can set that schedule right in here. Next, we'll look at following steps. We have email alerts. You want to turn that off. FTP, you'll turn that off as well. And buzzer, make sure that that's off. If you start hearing noise from your NVR, check this setting. It's probably your buzzer. Share NVR is where you go when you want to add it to more phones, tablets, or computers. To add it, to take the device that you're adding it to, download the Reolink app, click the plus right up here. That's going to open up the camera dialog. From that camera, you'll go back into here on your main, and you'll click on the Share NVR. Now, you don't need to scan mine, but that's where you'll come up with a barcode that will let you scan that and add that to your devices. So that was Share NVR. Under Advanced, you'll make sure that you go to Date and Time and sync it with the phone time. Next, we have Channel List. Channel List is where you go to disable any of the unused channels that you might see at the bottom of your screen here. So to do that, you'll go into the settings, click on Channel List, and make sure that you turn these off. If you don't, what they'll look like is this. You'll see these unused channels at the bottom of your list. They'll all say video loss. You don't want that. So what you do to avoid having those unused channels at the end, once again, is you go into Settings, Channel List, and turn them off by clicking on this little cross off. This is also where you can change the order of your cameras by just grabbing the little 3 over here, moving them up or down. Once again, that was under channel list. Now for each of your cameras, you're going to want to go into the specific settings for each camera. These are very important. So for example, you want to start off by clicking on display. Display is where you can change the brightness, you can change the location of the camera name and times, and you can turn on or off the watermark. Watermark means a little Reolink branding up there. If you turn that off, it takes that away. And that was under display. Next is detection alarm. And along with the notifications, this is the other one that you need to focus on to make sure that you're not getting false alarms. So detection alarm allows you to set what's called a non-detection zone. Non-detection zone is these gray areas. The way you set them is you tap on this paint button and then you use your stylus or your finger to paint that area. The reason you do that is because you do not want to get a notification from those areas. So for example, I have the street out here. I don't care about people or vehicles that are in the street. I do not want that notification. I want the notification when they get into the driveway. So I've grayed out the areas that I don't care to have notifications for. Make sure you do that for each and every camera. Next thing you want to do is set the motion mark. You can turn that on and then go into your sensitivities. Make sure you turn them down because by default they're a little too sensitive. So turn those down. That will cut way back on the false alarm. Same thing with the smart detection. You can lower people, vehicles, and pets. And that once again was under the sensitivity on detection alarm. Next thing you want to do is go to sounds. Turn the sounds on. That will make sure that you record audio. Then under light, that is where you go to turn on and off your spotlight. So click on spotlight, night smart mode, and then you can tell it to only set off the spotlight if it detects people, vehicles, or pets. Save that. If you need to turn the spotlight off all the time, then you click the off button right there. And finally, siren will make a noise every time motion is detected. You can go in there and set that. You can turn that on and you can set it for certain times. And finally, one more tip to show you. I think everybody knows that this normal view is not live. But if you tap on the camera, you get the live view. If you double tap on that, you get 4, and those 4 are all live now. And you can even scroll over to your next 4. Double tap again, and you're back to the single camera view. That down, you're back to your multi-camera, not live view. All right, those are your Reolink tips and tricks brought to you by Las Vegas Tech Pros. If you found this video useful, make sure that you like it and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again.